So, welcome everyone to our today's webinar that is on Introduction to Object-Oriented Programming related to Java. So, today we will be learning about Java programming and its object-oriented programming concept that we will be seeing today. So, moving to our webinar. So Java is a programming language which is being used for creating softwares, for web applications, for connectivity with the database, for Android applications, and all of these things. This webinar is being conducted by DigiGrowHub, which is having 12 years of trust factor in this field, and more than 1 lakh professionals has been taught, and most of them have the very good success stories, like they are in Google, Amazon, Asian Paints, and all those companies. And more than 9 countries we are covering for our online classes. We have the academic collaborations with the world leading universities and the colleges. You can see few of the examples are given here that you can see. Why someone must choose DigiGrowHub? That is the important part, as this is the webinar which is being conducted by DigiGrowHub only. So we will be looking after this part also, that why anyone should just join the webinar of DigiGrowHub or join the classes, online classes of DigiGrowHub. So it is the main part is that DigiGrowHub is providing 100% job oriented practical training which is worldwide authentic and is being valid for each and every kind of jobs, either it is in programming field, it is in finance field, it is in HR field, or many more, because DigiGrowHub is having more than 100 courses in it. A lot of courses are available here. And DigiGrowHub, you can see DigiGrowHub's reviews also. It is more than 4+ stars on Facebook, on Google, on LinkedIn, and even on YouTube. You can see more than 1,000 subscribers are there, who even currently this webinar is live on YouTube also. So a lot of subscribers are watching this live video too, which is the webinar on Java. So as I told you that today we will be learning about the object-oriented approach or the object-oriented programming concept. So object-oriented programming concept means, if we will be breaking it down, then it is going to break the program into entities. So entities, like you can see here in the example, it is given that in a zoo, if we consider zoo as a class, then we have 2 more things like the infrastructure and the animals. So in the animals, we have many animals in the zoo, like the lions, tigers, bears, and many more. In the same way, in infrastructure, we have the building, we have the visitors, we have the staff, we have the animals, and we have many more things available there. So basically, this class and object thing, this is going to be working with object oriented concept, so that just give me a moment. Yeah, so class and object is going to work with the main part of object-oriented programming language, in which we will be creating some classes, and we will be having objects created inside it. So each class of object includes descriptive data, like the examples. If we take examples of the animals that we have seen in our previous slide, that is species, color, their sizes, their weight, and etc. Also, each class of object has an associated set of actions. Like if we talk about the animals, they have their own way of sleeping, their way of eating, their way of excreting, and etc. So there are a lot of things available in class and object that is the part of our Java. So a class must be defined before using it. It is compulsory to define the classes first of all, then only we can create some object inside it. So as we have seen that in a zoo, if zoo is not created, then how animals can be put there? In the same way, whenever we have to work with the object, we have to work with the class. So first of all, declaration of class is compulsory. So a class is a new type of variable, means basically we have seen in basic variables like the integer type, string type, or the float type. We have seen a lot of data types previously also in the basics of or the core Java, but in advanced Java here we have the a new type of variable, that is a class, and class definition is specifies that programming terminologies attributes is equals to the data, is the new definition, and the programming technology method is equals to the action, which is a new definition, and a method is the object oriented equivalent of a function. So whenever we have to define a Java class, then the format or the syntax for doing that is public class, then the name of the class that we have to write in the first line, as you can see there. So first of all we have to write public, then class, and then the class name that we want to use, and under the invert that curly bracket we have to write the attributes, the methods, whatever thing we want to mention, like the variables we have to define or something like that, so that those properties can be given to the objects that will be created inside it. And if we will see more examples related to this, then public class person, okay, so public class person, here a person named class is being created, and this public class person, you can see that a private integer age. So private integer age, it means this is an attribute which has been created. Integer type of variable age is being declared here, which is of private type, means it can be only used in this class. Then public person, a method is being created. In that method we have written age is equals to int dot next int. So in means in, that is the object, and in that object what we are using the function next int, which is going to take input from the user for the age. So it is going to take input from the user of age. Then we have created a second method that is by the name say age, and this say age we have written a command, or we have given the lines which is going to give the age of the person who has made entry as an output. So system.out.println my age is, that is written under double inverted comma because that is the string, and then as we have to concatenate it with another data type so that we can print both of the data together, that's why we have used plus symbol, and then age. Age is the numeric type of value that we have to input from the user just before this, as we have created the method. And then in final program, means in a class person, what we have done, we have created another method that is public void say hello. So if we have created public void say hello, in that we have written some of the command like system.out.println that I don't want say hello. So as we will be calling this function in the any main program, so here you can see there is a program class by the name driver. So basically we will be using driver class as the main class. That's why I have used a driver here. Otherwise you can use any name, just for the making it simpler to understand, I have used here driver. So public class driver, and then public static void main, this is going to denote that here is the main program that we have, or the main function that we are going to write, which is going to execute all of the lines which are available there. Inside that, what we have done, we have used the person class that we have created previously, means this class, and inside that we have created an object by the name a person, and then equals to new person, means finally we have defined that this person means a person object is being created. It is a part of the class by the name person, and as we have to call the function which is available there that we have created in our this class person, we have to use it there. So what we have done, we have finally written here that a person dot say hello, which is going to print this value whatever we have given in this method, means I don't wanna say hello. So as we will be executing this program, so what it will do, it is going to execute, and in output we will be getting I don't wanna say hello, because that is the main part that we have given there. Now coming to main method. What is main method? So main method means, or the main program that I have just shown you, that we will be writing those codes which we want to execute. Even if we have created some of the classes, we have created some of the functions, then also they must be called in the main method only, or the main function. So language requirement is there. There must be a main method or equivalent to determine the starting execution point. If you are not going to write this main method, then it will be not executing the program. That program will remain as it is, and for executing that we have to anyhow write the main method. Otherwise it will be just like the cabinet of the CPU. If you have not put the motherboard, we have not put the hard disk and all those things, in that case it will be just like that. It is just the cabinet, blank cabinet. So instead of making a blank cabinet, we must add the motherboard, which is the main method. Then style requirement is there. The name of the class that contains main is often referred to as the driver, as I have told you that I have used this driver in my this PPT, so that it should be clear to you whenever I will be using driver, it means that that is the main method. And do not instantiate instances of the driver. That is the important part. Don't go with the same instances. Don't initiate it at the same time. And for now, avoid defining attribute for the driver. Don't define any attributes. Just write it in the simpler way with the command system.out.print, so that you can start with the practice at least. Now, why it is must to define a class also? So some classes are already predefined. Like if you have to take input from the user, then there is a scanner class which is available in java.util. Then either we can write a scanner, or we can use that asterisk symbol. Otherwise we can write dot scanner also. And in that case, whenever we have to take input from the user, then we write, as we have written there, that int a person, or the int age equals to then in dot next int. So next int is the method which is being defined in the class scanner, which is predefined. So that is the predefined class. And now as we have to create our own classes, we will be creating our own classes. We can create our own methods inside that, so that we can use it for the longer purpose. Like suppose if you have to create a software, so it is not possible that you will be able to get all of the classes, all of the functions predefined. So what you will be doing, you will be creating your classes, you will be creating your methods. So for that purpose, class must be defined, whether you are going to use the predefined classes or you are going to use the classes which you are going to define there. Then why don't more classes come built into the language? That is the important part. If it will be coming predefined, means most of the functions are going to be predefined, then it is going to increase the size, and the need of the program will dictate that attribute and methods are needed. So it is not compulsory that all of the classes, all of the methods must be always used in every program. So it is dependent on us, it is dependent on the programmer, that what we have to use and how we have to use that. Now defining the attribute of a class. Now we will see how we will be defining an attribute in the class. So attribute can be variable or constant that is preceded by the final keyword. For now, stick to the format. Means we will be using a final keyword which is going to fix the value to that particular attribute. Okay, so format is that first of all we have to write the SS modifier. SS modifier means private, public, protected, default. These are the SS modifiers which is going to define that where we can use those things and how we can use those things. Okay, then we have to write the type of the attribute. Type of the attribute means integer type, string type, float type. We have to define that. And then name of the attribute. Name of the attribute. So attribute basically means the variable. Okay, so don't be confused with the attribute, that what we are saying every time, attribute, 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 and most of the people don't know what is that attribute. So that attribute is actually the variable name. So now you can see the example is there. So public class person. So public class person, we have defined a class by the name public, and inside that we have written private. So private is the SS modifier, int is the type of the attribute, and finally age that we have written, that is the attribute name or the variable name that we are using here. And whenever we have to define the method of a class, previously we have seen how we can define an attribute. Now we will see how we can define a method also. So for defining a method, the syntax for that is, first of all you have to write the SS modifier, then you have to write the type, that method type, whether it will be the return type or it will be the non-return type. So you have to mention that, and then you have to write the method name, and in that method name, whatever function, whatever commands you want to execute, you have to write that. So below you can see there is the example. First of all, public class person. So public is the SS modifier, class is the type of the we are creating, and person is the name of the class. Then inside that you can see we have again created one method, is that is the actually class, and inside that we have created a method. That method is of public type. So SS modifier, again public, then void. So void is being used when it is non-return type. With the return type we use int, that is int, and if it the method that we are creating, that is non-return type, then in that case we will be using void. So public, void, and then say age, because here we are not going to take any input, we are not going to calculate something, and we are not going to send some output to our main program. What we are doing, only we are proceeding those things, we are processing the command that we have available here, and by that only we are going to move forward. So after public void say age, we have written just system.out.print, and my age is, and then plus age. So it is going to give an output as my age is, and then whatever age we are going to take input from the user, that will be printed, or whatever age we are going to define by our own, that will be used. Okay, so parameters passing different types, we have the different type of parameters which we can use. So parameter type, format, and example is given here. If it is of simple type, then method, then the type and the name, only this much we have to write, because we are not going to pass any parameter. Okay, so method, then int a, character y, whatever thing we have to write, we can write there. With the object, if we are going to work with the with an object, then what we have to do, we have to write the method, then the class name, that is compulsory. With the object, as that object is being created inside the class, so it is the important part that you have to write the name of the class in which you are going to use the method. So here you can see in the example, method, then in bracket name of the class, and then the name of the object that we have created, that we will be using, and according to that we are going to use. Then last parameter type is of array type. If we have to pass some array, if you have to pass some array in our that Java program, then what we will be doing? So method, then the type, and then square bracket beside type is compulsory, because that is going to define that the method or the parameter that you are going to forward, that is of array type. So that's why square bracket is compulsory, and then the name. So in example you can see we have the method, then map. With the map we have put the square bracket, that is square bracket is going to define that it is an array type, and then the name. So if it is a single dimensional array, so single square bracket will be used. And if it is a two-dimensional array, so we will be using two square brackets there. Then return value, as we have seen with the void type, means that is non-return type. If it will be the return type, then for simple, type and then method, means type means here it will become int. Okay, so int type, because as I have told you already, void is being used for non-return type, and this int is being used for return type. So int method and then return 0, that is compulsory, because that line is going to finally inform our program that finally you have to return the value. So that's why return 0. So return 0 means basically we are not returning something, and if you have to return, then return, and then inside that parenthesis you have to mention that what you want to return. Then with the object, class and method, same way as we have done with the previous one, means with the non-return type also, that we will be writing the name of the class, then the method name, and then inside that we have to create the object that we want to use. So that object will be that person P, as we are using the person only. So person P and then equals to new person. So what we are going to do, inside this person class we are creating an object by the name P. So a new object we are creating, so that's why new person we are using. And with the array, again the same thing, the square bracket will be used. So person is square bracket, it means that we are working with the array data type with in return only. And at last, we in all of them you can see that we have written return 0. Then for object and for array we will be using return P, because that is going to return from the object only. Now calling method. For calling method, we have the two options. Either we can call it outside the class or we can call it inside the class. So outside the class and inside the class means, if suppose we have created a function in the class only and we are going to use that class in method that we have created inside that class again back in the same class, then that is inside the class. And if we have created some method inside the class but we are going to use it into our main class or the driver class, so that is outside the class. So if we have to work with the outside the class, if we have to call the methods that we have created in the class but we have to use it outside of that class, then you have already done this before with pre-created classes. Pre-created classes means, as I told you example for a scanner class, so that is pre-created, that is already available in Java. We have used that, and for that what we have done, we have written a command like by calling the class. What we will do after calling the class, we will be writing that scanner sc equals to new scanners system.in. So it is going to create an object by the name sc inside the scanner class, and that scanner class we will be using is that sc object we will be using for taking input, like int age equals to sc dot next int. So what it will do, basically what we are doing, we have that predefined classes available inside, that predefined functions are available that we are using in our program. Okay, so that is an example. Another example is that first of all you have to create an object, then you will be using those means this is the complete process for the predefined, as well as if we are going to create an method inside the class in the same way. In the same way, we will be using it in our driver class also. Is the main method or the main program where we will be using those methods or functions which we have created. So here is the example: person Jim equals to new person, and then Jim dot say name. So say name, what we have done, say name we have created in our class, main class, class by the name person, and we are going to use that method in our driver class. So we have what we have done with the person class, we have created an object by the name Jim, and with that Jim, what we have done, Jim means the object name dot the function or the method that we have created inside the class. We have written that name, as we are not going to pass any argument or the parameter, so that parenthesis will be completely blank. And after that, whatever input we have took from the user in our main program, that will be forwarded to the class in which we have created a method which is going to give the output of the on the screen. It is going to give us the output of the age of the person who has made entry. So that is the example for calling method outside of class. Then here you can see a proper example is there, public class driver, how we have used this public class driver. Then public static void main, that is string, square bracket args, instead of args whatever you want to use you can use, but a string and then that is square bracket is compulsory, because in our main program, in our main method, always there is need of the array type only, a string array type data, that is compulsory. With that we can make changes little bit. We will see in another video, in another webinar about that. So here you can see person is the class in which we have written one method which is going to give print the value of the age that user is going to give as an input in our program. So that will be done. Okay. So an object is created inside that class. Then what we are doing in that class, again we have created one more object and we are going to use that object name plus the method name to get an output. Okay. Now calling method inside the class. So calling method inside the class means what basically we will be doing, we will be creating method also in the same class. As you can see here in the example, public class person, you can see on the top public class person is there. Then inside that we have defined an attribute private int age, which means that this is the SS modifier is private, int is the type, and age is the attribute name. So in this age attribute, we are going to store the name, the value of age. So what we have done, public void, then birthday, and then what we have written, become older. Become older. This is the method that we are calling here. Okay, and in the same way, become old. What we have done in become older, age plus plus, means basically what we have done in become older named method, we have incremented the value of age by 1, and that is being used in our birthday. Okay, because we are calling the same method which we have created below in the above one. So that is calling method inside the class. So here you can see class person is there, private int age, complete example is given here. So we will be using this public class person, then private int age, public person, scanner in. So scanner in means scanner is the class, that predefined class that I told you that we will be using for taking input from the user, and then in is the in is the object which we are creating inside the scanner class. Then what we are doing, we are giving output as system.out.print enter age, means now we have given a message to the user that you have to enter the age. User will give input in age, that age is of private int age, as we have already defined it inside the person. So we are taking input from the user now, and after that we have created one more method in which we are going to print that value with one message like my age is, and then the value of the age that we have took input. In the main or the driver class, what we have done, we have just created one object inside the class that we have created, in which we have created the methods, and just we are applying the object name dot method which we want to execute outside of class. So here we have both of the examples. First thing is that public person, what we have done, public person, inside that we have took input from the user, and then void age, say age. So say age is actually, it is going to use the input that we will be taking in public that person method, and it will be executed. So here you can see public void say age, it is going to give a means it is going to execute my age is, and before that, as we are creating the object, so what it does it means whatever we have written here in public person, that will be the part of that, means those properties, those attributes, those features will be forwarded to the class which we need. Now creating an object. So we have seen how we can create the class, how we can use the class, how we can define the attribute, how we can define the method, how we can define even the object also. But whenever we have to create an object, there are few things that we need to take care of. So two stages are there, can be combined, but don't forget a step. Okay, so two steps are there. First one is Jim equals to new person, then 12, and Jim equals to new person 22. So 12 and 22, both of these are the attributes that we are going to pass to our main function. So it means that for the age. Okay, so create a variable that refers to an object. We are creating a variable like person Jim. Either we can write it in a different line, person Jim, and then Jim equals to new person 12, or we can write in the same, that person Jim equals to new person and then 12 also. So both is valid, but as we are going to pass two different attributes, that's why we are declaring that object type previously, and then we are using that in our below method. Now I have used a lot of time methods and functions word. So there is a difference, actually. There is a difference between methods and functions. For the method, the object-oriented approach to program decomposition. Method is being used with oops. Functions, these are being used with the procedural approach. This is the first difference. A lot of time many people get confused. Even in my starting time I was also confused that method and function is both, but no, it is not like that. Method is being used for object oriented programming concept, but function is being used with the procedural approach. Then method break the program down into classes, but functions break the program into small functions only. There will be no classes. Each class will have a number of methods, means in every classes we can create a number of methods. There is no limit for creating any methods in any of the class, but functions can be invoked. Functions, as we are going to create in the main program only, so that is cannot be in the same way. Methods are invoked, called through an instance of a class. Whenever we have to use the method, we have to call that method with the object only. Okay, but for the functions it is not compulsory. Because it is with the procedural programming language, and there is no concept of class and object, so there is no need of creating any object. There is no need of any classes. Directly we can call the function. We need to write the name of the function and it will be called. But with the method we have to write the name of the object, then dot, and then the method name. Then only it can be executed, otherwise it will be not executed. Constructors, another important part. So constructors are used to initialize objects. It is used to initialize objects, set the attribute as they are created. Different version of constructors can be implemented with different initializations. Example are: one version set all attributes to default value, while another version sets some attribute to the value parameter. Here is the example. You can see here is the example given. So public person int an age. Okay, so there is an attribute with this function that we are creating. Age equals to an age means what we are doing from the main program, we are transferring the data to this particular function by the name of person. And what we are doing inside that, we have defined that there is a age named attribute which is going to store the value which has been transferred from our main program, and the name equals to no name. That directly we are defining here. That's why we are not passing that value, because we are defining that name is equals to no name under double inverted comma. Then another method is that public person age equals to 0 and name equals to no name. So we are not passing any attribute. That's why in the first line in public person, parenthesis is blank. Then person P1 equals to new person 100. We are writing that in 100 because we have to pass value for the first one. That's why we are writing 100. And in second case, we are not passing any value, so parenthesis will be blank. Like here you can see an example. So public class person that we have created, and inside that private int age, which is going to create an attribute by the name of age, which is of private ss modifier, and it is the data type or the attribute type. Then private string name, two attributes are defined here. Both are private type, and one is of integer type, one is of string type. Now in this, what we are doing, system.out.println person. So person is the name of the class that we are printing. That's why it is actually person as a string we want to print. That's why it is put in double inverted comma with the system.out.print, and then age equals to 0 and name equals to no name. This is the class that we have created. Now another way of creating the class is public person, then int and age. We are passing one variable of integer type or one attribute of integer type, and then we are using that. In third case, you can see public person string a name. It means that what we are doing, we are going to pass a string value there. We are going to pass a string value there. That's why we have used in the parameter, in the attribute, after just public person, that is string a name, because a string type of data will be transferred. Then age equals to 0 and name equals to a name. A name means which we have declared there. Then third case is that we can even transfer integer type as well as string type, both kind of data together to our function in the class, and that both can be used. Then another case is that we can not send anything, but we can return from there. Means we are not going to forward something to the method, but we are getting return from there, which is going to be used as an output from our main program. That is return type, then that is of integer type, then return type with the string also, return type, then we have non-return types, what we have written, so that is not going to return something to our main program. So in this way, we can define each and every classes with different methods, different attributes, and different way of writing, way of passing the parameter needed, not needed, whether it is return type, non-return type, everything we can see there. And finally, in our this class driver, you can see we have written the complete code. Public class void main, and in this person gym1, gym2, gym3, gym4, because we have written 4 type of datas there. Here you can see we have the 4 type of things, so that's why. And then system.out.println gym.get age. So for get age we have written this. So get age, this one for get age is first one, then gym.getAge2, gym.getAge3, gym4.getAge, and in everyone what we have done, we have even called the get name also. So what we are doing, we are passing the variable, we are passing the value there. Now overloading, that is an important thing. Overloading, it plays an important role in our this object oriented concept. So overloading means methods that implement similar but not identical task will be having the same name, but inside the parameters that will be different. Either number of parameters will be different or type of parameter will be different. Like here you can see the example, system.out.println inside bracket int, so integer type, and then in bracket double, so it is double type. So with the overloading means same name will be used, same name method, as you can see system.out.println, same name is being used. Inside the parenthesis only the data is changed, means the type of that is changed, nothing else is there. Okay, so for that reason only it is available. Now overloading, with the overloading, as I told you that same name will be used, only 2 differences are there. How it is being overloading and how it is going to understand that which function, because all of the functions are of same name, but which function we have to use, that is dependent on the either number of the parameters If it is one parameter we are passing, two parameter we are passing, three parameter, according to that only method will be also distinguished. Means if we have written system.out.println, then in bracket we have written int. Means if we are going to pass the integer type of value, then only it is going to execute. Otherwise, if we are passing double type, then another second one means system.out.println double will be executed. So on the basis of the type of parameter and number of parameters, means if suppose we are passing two values and we have written one more line system.out.println and then int comma int. So int comma int, it means that two parameters we are passing, so it will automatically detect that okay, we have to work with this only. So distinguishing methods solely by the order of the parameters, as I was telling you, with the order of the parameters. So here you can see there is an example, int and character, two type of parameters we have, and second one is character and int. So I think that is a little bit smaller. I was setting that, but I forgot to set the size of that, so sorry for that. So in first one, what we have done, use the same name for both. In first one, it is int comma character, means first parameter must be the integer type, second must be the character type. Then only first method will be executed. But if we are giving first input or the first parameter as character type and second one is as integer type, then second one will be executed. Overloading method but having an identical implementations. And in another important part, I think this slide has become little bit in improper way. So encapsulation basically being used with object-oriented programming language for the information security. So as we are creating the classes, we are using the we are creating object inside that, and if we are not making those things secure also, if whatever things we are using there and if we are passing all those things forward, it means that we are not securing our data. And if our data is not secure, then how software can be secure? So for securing our data, for securing the backend, we use the encapsulation. That is an important part of our object-oriented programming concept. So encapsulation, this word is being developed from the capsule, that medicine that we eat. So when we will be removing that covers of the capsule, inside that if it is of multivitamin or something like that, then you will be able to see very small balls of multiple colors of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, and so on. So what does that do? A single capsule means that cover is storing multiple vitamins together in a single capsule. That is the important part, right? That is the only thing that capsule is doing. So what here it is happening in our program, we are doing the same thing. We are storing everything. We are creating multiple kind of objects. We are creating multiple classes, multiple methods, and we are storing each and everything in a single program so that we can even hide also. Okay, so for information hiding, it is being used, and it protects the inner working data of a class. Means the object, basically the attributes that we have defined or the methods that we have defined in the class, and only allow access to the core of an object in a controlled fashion. Means if we have defined some object inside of that class type, means if we have defined some object inside any class, then that object can only use that method, that attribute, or the properties of that class. Otherwise none other class object can use. Like if suppose if we have created two classes, so one is driver or the person, and another one is person one. In person we have defined int A, and in person one we have defined int B. And if we have created two different objects also, in person we have created P, and in person one we have created P1. So int A can be used by only P. P1 cannot use that. And if we have created P1 inside person 1, then int B can be used, which is being defined or declared in class person 1, can be used only by P1. So what we are doing, we are hiding the data from other classes, other objects, and so on. And how does this hiding works? So it protects the inner working data of a class, like range, checking for the inventory level. Suppose if we have the inventory available for the stock we are talking about, if we have the stocks and we have to manage those stocks, in that case it will be managed. So driver and then the inventory will be there. Driver will be using, creating some objects of that class type, and in that whatever attributes we have defined in that class, that can be only used. Otherwise all of the data will be encapsulated, it will be hidden at the behind. So here you can see there is a class, public class inventory, in which we have public int stock level, that is going to check the stock, and public inventory stock level is 0. So what does this mean? As we will move forward for the driver, and here we are writing inventory Chinook equals to new inventory, and Chinook stock level is 10. So it is going to transfer that value there, but we cannot retrieve that. Why? Because we have not given any command which is going to retrieve data from here. So what we have done, we can make entries, but we cannot see. So that is the information hiding, that is the data hiding that we have done. Now how to utilize it? How utilizing information hiding? Example is there. Location of online that a driver, we have created inventories, we have the minimum, maximum, critical value of the things. This we are going to make entries, how many we are selling, how many we are purchasing, we are only making entries. And our program is giving report related to inventory is full, inventory is going to be empty, inventory is empty, this much stock is only left, if we have given that command. So whatever thing we want to give, we can give there, but we cannot check at the back end that what are the things which are available actually. Okay, so these are the examples of the inventories and driver classes. So this is the complete thing that we have learned about the object oriented concept of Java class. So as this class is going to be very much lengthy, that's why we will be ending our today's session, because 2 more parts are available, inheritance and polymorphism. We will be covering that in our next session, in our next webinar, in our next YouTube live video, where I will be telling you about the inheritance and the polymorphism also. So you will be updated with that also very soon, that when we are going to have those polymorphism and inheritance class webinar also. And in our DigiGrowHub, we have the as I told you in the starting only, that we have many training programs, live training programs, which are being joined by many candidates, many students. Why? Because they are learning here 100% live. They are doing the practicals. Either it's related to advanced Python, means creating the web applications, creating the that softwares, creating software windows, or AI using, means artificial intelligence using Python, machine learning using Python, data science, C++ programming, C programming, Java, SQL, Android development, many more, means all of those are there. So if you want to check it out, you can go to our website, that is DigiGrowHub.in. I will be sharing that in our YouTube that video description also. All of the links of the social media platform as well as our website address, everything will be there. So if you want to check it out, that what are the courses that we are providing, you can easily go through there, and you will be able to see that more than 100 plus courses we are conducting. In those, these are the main courses which students are joining, because most of the people, even if they are of another field, they are coming to IT field because they know that in IT there is a good scope, they can make their career in a lot. So this is the complete thing that we have learned. So what else do you need to know about? You can comment it here, or you can comment it later also on our YouTube channel. So we will be making a video related to that too, so that we can make it easier for you. And if you talk about the career of a Java developer, if you are learning Java, and as I told you that we used to provide live practical training with the 100% job guarantee. So if you are learning Java from us, then your rise to the career will be from this way, just like the aeroplane is taking off. It is just going to fly, because trainee engineer, then junior software engineer, senior software engineer, then the team leader, and then the project manager. So it is going to increase. If you have the knowledge of Java, with the core Java you can be the trainee engineer. With the advanced Java you will be increasing, and with the complete knowledge, means the complete knowledge of this package is going to make you the project manager. And you can see for the senior Java developer, salary in India is approximately, it is not like that this is the fixed, this is the approximate value, 818,000 rupees per year, means 818 million, sorry, 8.18 million rupees per year. And you can see there is a good growth for the Java developers. And if we talk about our support team, then we have a strong support team. We you can connect us to us with our with live chat through our WhatsApp chat, or through our website, also through our social media platforms. You can connect with us, and we used to provide telephonic support also. You can call us anytime. You this number, you can see it is scrolling down just beside me. Number is scrolling, so just give us a call if you want to know more about the courses that we are conducting. And as I have given you some information related to the topic in today's webinar, you can go through this and you can join our classes for getting a good career in your life and increasing your productivity, getting a good growth in your career for those reasons. So you can enroll with the DigiGrowHub for the courses. You can see the feedbacks of a lot of students, that those who have given on our that either YouTube videos, or they have given on Google reviews, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere they have given the those things. You will be able to see all those reviews on our website also, or on Google reviews also. So you can see good reviews have been given with the 5 stars. And if you talk about the average of the ratings, that that is above 4.2 stars rating we have, and a lot of reviews we have got till now. And we are available on this YouTube also. We used to provide a lot of informative videos. We create a lot of informative videos we used to update here. So you can subscribe our channel so that you can get updates related to the coming webinars, or the webinars that we have already conducted. You can see the videos, and time to time we are even giving some good feedbacks related to the future and the career and all those things. After enrolling, you will be able to get master program of 6-month online course that will be completely live, and you will be able to learn those things at your own comfort, because all of our courses that we used to provide are student centric. So student centric means we have created the content also, we have created the syllabus also that we used to teach. But if you have requirement of some other things also instead of those things, then you can ask us to make changes for you. We do that. As well as for the timing also, we are very much flexible with the timing of the student, because we know that everyone has something to do and everyone is not free 24/7. So as per your timing we used to provide, so that's why it is completely at the comfort of your home or the office. Online live structures, live lectures will be there, as we are conducting the live webinars. In the same way, our live that lectures will be there, in that we will be doing the practicals. It is not like that we are going to give lectures there. Basically, there will be the practicals. We are having our own LMS, that is learning management system, from where you can even get the study materials, all of the study materials, whatever we will be teaching, and you will be getting access to that LMS for lifetime. That is free. Whatever update will be related to the course which you have enrolled with us this year, you can check out all of the latest updates at after 10 years, 20 years also, because you will be getting lifetime free access to that LMS, as well as you will be getting 2 weekly doubt clearing sessions also. and 2 months of internship for every course. And if you are going to complete our 6 month of course, then you will be that, as our all of the courses are job oriented, so in the average you will be getting the at least 8+ lakh of package after completing this course. And if you have to go for the training, then this is the complete roadmap that is being followed for completing of the course. So after enrolling, we will be giving you the brief introduction of the topics that we will be covering, and the lesson plan will be shared. In according to that, we will be covering the topics on time. And if in case if you are not that much covering up, you are not able to cover up at that pace, we can lower up the pace so that you can cover up those things, and we go for the doubt clearing sessions and all those. So after those processes, as you will be able to know the things, you are able to learn the things, in that case we will be moving forward, and we will be giving you the mini projects in the starting. During our sessions, we will be working on those mini projects, and later on, after completion of that course, you will be provided with a major project. In that, you have to work with the topics that you have we have covered in our courses and all those things, and finally you will be getting the certification of the training that you have completed in under DigiGrowHub. And as I have told you in the starting only, that the certifications that we used to provide are valid around the world. They are authentic around the world. You can see the certificates. Two certificates you will be getting. One will be of DigiGrowHub, another will one if you are going for the registration of the government recognized certifications also, that is also provided in DigiGrowHub. So both of the certificates you will be getting for if you are joining for the 6 month of courses. And this is the complete training highlight. You can learn it from home or office. Training certificate will be provided. Then placement that assistance will be there. Basically, we use you might have seen our that tagline also, your career insurance. It means that if you are coming to us for learning something new, just to get the job or to get the opportunity to get a raise in your career, then we used to provide a proper assistance, proper guidance with the personality development, with the interview skills, with the resume building, with the LinkedIn profile building, and all those things. So we used to cover all of these topics so that you can easily make up yourself prepared so that you can get any job and at any point. We have the video tutorials, live video tutorials as we are performing right now, as well as we have the recorded videos also available. For few things only we use the recorded. Most of the time we go for the live only. You will be building the project during our courses, and there will be the doubt clearing sessions. Then all of our courses are actually the beginner friendly, because we know that most of the people are changing their fields as per their research, that in which field they will be getting more jobs. So all of our courses are beginners friendly, and lifetime access you will be getting for our LMS, as well as the downloadable contents will be also available on our LMS. From there you can easily download those things. So that's all for today, and those whoever wants to be in touch with us, they can contact us. That complete contact details will be available in our YouTube videos. You can go through, you can contact us anytime. 24/7 we are available for the support, so you can contact us anytime. We will be available, and you can enroll for any of the courses that we are providing for your 100% job guarantee. So that's all for the day. Thank you, and see you in next webinar. Bye bye. So now we are ending our today's session here also. Thanks a lot.